Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan has made a statement on coronavirus in the Parliament. This statement had no word, no mention on the doctors who died in the line of duty. His junior minister's statement that the centre has no data on the doctor's death or the death of frontline workers or healthcare workers because health is a state subject. So the government essentially says in Parliament that it has no data, it has no documentation of the frontline COVID-19 warriors who've lost their lives fighting the pandemic. And why? Because health is a state subject. Now, this, of course, has infuriated many, including the Indian Medical Association. The IMA has accused the government of indifference, of abdication and abandonment of heroes. Abandonment of heroes, I beg your pardon. The country's top medical body has said that in such a circumstance, the government loses the moral authority to administer the Epidemic Act of 1897 and the Disaster Management Act. So far, 382 doctors have died of the coronavirus, the IMA said in this letter that we've now put out on our screens. In the list that it has released, the youngest doctor to lose his life was 27 years old. The oldest was 85 years old. So the IMA has alleged that there is indifference on part of the government. The IMA has said that there is abdication and there is abandonment of our heroes, those who have been fighting on the front lines. We have Dr. Rajan Sharma, the president of the IMA, who's joining us on the broadcast. We also have Geeta Bhatt, political analyst, whose views lean towards the BJP. Thank you both very much for being with us. Dr. Rajan Sharma, I want to begin by asking you, it's a very scathing letter. You've alleged indifference, abdication and abandonment of those fighting on the front lines.
Absolutely. I stand by it.
Are you hurt by the fact that the government doesn't have data on those who lost their lives and therefore no question of compensation?
That is why the abdication allegation is there.
Right.
Why are you releasing national COVID data and when you cannot even maintain a data of healthcare and healthcare people? It is we who are losing lives and it is we who are taking care of the patients. So this is the apathy. Hello?
Yes, Dr. Sharma, I can hear you.
This is the apathy. And IMA has been regularly bringing it to the notice of the government and to the media also. Realizing this, I had set up the National COVID Registry and IMA has been maintaining this data. But time has come to take this call. We are leading, maybe the numbers are increasing, but as far as the death of healthcare professionals are concerned, we are leading the world.
I want to, before I get Geeta Bhatt into the conversation, Dr. Rajan Sharma, also ask you, what you propose as the solution. What would you have the government do? What's your appeal to the government?
We had sent all the recommendations to the government, including revisiting PPE protocols, PPE kit protocols, mask initiatives, and quality of PPE kits. We had submitted a proposal, but there was no response.
Right. Geeta Bhatt, do you want to respond to what Dr. Rajan Sharma is saying? This is absolutely shocking. I mean, the letter in itself is scathing. There are 382 doctors who've lost their lives. There's no tabulation. There's no, there's no data that the government has maintained. Therefore, the government says there's no question of any compensation. Dr. Sharma has also talked about the conditions in which doctors are battling this pandemic. I mean, the allegations of indifference, abdication and abandonment. Do you want to respond to that?
You see, it is expected that the government must be having that, the COVID warriors who have given their lives. And as the IMA representative is stating that the data has been given to the government, then I do agree that it is expected from the government that they should be able to state the data. However, the fact remains that that in India, at least, the COVID cases go on a rise. If we look in terms of the international scenario, and this is something which the ICMR chief has said, that it is not that we are witnessing any huge peak like the case in other countries, especially the European countries or other developed countries. So, and also it has been observed by some researchers that the strain is, it is becoming more and more less stringent in as the days are passing. I do not know. I mean, a medical doctor will be in a better position to state on that. But this is what we are reading in various articles.
So you're saying that the government is not indifferent and that the government has done a good job at dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the health minister has stated that because of the various measures that were taken by the government, they have been able to, save between 40 to 80,000 lives and nearly 80 lakhs of people from getting infected.
Well, yes, I mean those are figures that the government has given in Parliament. It's interesting that the government has been able to do this scientific tabulation, Dr. Sharma, but doesn't actually have the data on brave hearts. We're putting those images out on our screens at the moment as a tribute to all those frontline COVID workers, doctors, healthcare workers who've lost their lives.
Ma'am, I have only one submission. Think of the doctors. It takes 15 years to make a doctor. And let us not become a data. We are losing one doctor for 204 patients as of day before yesterday. So that should emphasize the seriousness of the issue. I am not blaming anybody. We are all in this country. Together as one nation, we are fighting. Okay, fine. We are getting infected. We are seeing a lesser strain. But we all have to come together, ably led by our Prime Minister, to find solutions to the problem. This is not a blame game. This is a game. This is a humble plea that let's protect our healthcare workers, which are already in short.
Right. Dr. Rajan Sharma, I also want to ask you, there has been, repeated acknowledgements by the government, by the Prime Minister about the role of healthcare workers. We're putting out those visuals on our screens of tributes that were paid, whether it is, people coming out on their balconies, lighting lamps, this Thali Bajao, that happened, or whether it was this, the Air Force planes that were showering petals. Do you believe that somewhere the larger point, the substance has got lost in the symbolism?
See, ma'am, the initiative, all these initiatives at the instance of our Prime Minister were aimed at boosting the morale when we were also affected. And we were also scared when doctors were also bringing in the disease in this thing.
Yes.
We appreciate and acknowledge the honorable role of the Prime Minister.
Right.
But then the initiative got lost. We were made targets of threats, regulations, all across many states that we will file cases against you. You have been seeing in the media. So the initiative somewhere got awry. It has gone haywire.
Geeta Bhatt, do you want to respond to that? That all of these morale boosters, which is welcome, but was only symbolic, because I mean this is not boosting the morale of our healthcare workers, of our frontline COVID warriors. The fact that the government's just washed its hands off this data says we don't know how many people actually lost their lives fighting the pandemic.
Well, you see, there could be one possibility that some of the hospitals, they come under the state government, and whether any information regarding it has been given by the state governments to the center, that is something which can be answered only by the health ministry. But the fact remains that in India there have been, as stated by the health ministry, they have been doing 1 million tests per day, which is something like 720 tests being done per million of the population. So, and this is much more than what WHO has asked for, that the number of tests that should be done per million. So, in terms of the various measures that have to be taken.
Right.
In that,
No, but Geeta, but we're talking specifically, and I think Dr. Sharma's letter also very specifically talks about healthcare professionals. We're not talking about testing or India's management of COVID-19. We're talking about how we as a country have acknowledged the sacrifices that have been made by our frontline workers. You know, we've been putting story after story out on doctors, you know, who haven't been home in months, doctors who've been separated from their families, doctors who've taken ill, doctors who've lost their lives. I mean, it just appears that there's nothing more than symbolism that we have to offer. Geeta Bhatt.
Well, no, it is not a matter of symbolism. I think at the time when the pandemic had started, Rishika, at that time there was so much of uncertainty.
Right.
It was a kind of a situation which was happening for the very first time. You know, and most of those who have been born, and since we know India is a very young population, it was something which people were not prepared. At that time,
well, I don't know whether we are any more prepared now than we were back then, but I'd like to give Dr. Sharma the last word. Dr. Sharma, you know, what does this do to the morale of our healthcare workers? I'd like to give you the last word.
Ma'am, I don't want any brownie points. I just want I am submitting a humble request. Recognize us as national treasures. Don't divide us into state subjects.
All right. I think those are very powerful words there, Dr. Sharma. Recognize us as national treasures and don't divide us as state subjects. I think those are extremely powerful words. Thank you both.
Indian Army is Indian Army.
Yes.
They have regiments.
Yes.
It is high time that country has to take this call.
Okay. Well, thank you both very much for joining me on the broadcast with your inputs. I want to now go across to my colleague Akshay. Akshay has been tracking a very disturbing story today. Akshay, you know, we're reporting on India's youngest COVID warrior, 25-year-old doctor who died of coronavirus. What are the details of the story?
Well, Rishika, right now we are in Hisar and Dr. Vikas Solanki was a resident of this very town. He was a student of MBBS from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, wanted to do MD, but he contracted the virus last month, and on Monday he succumbed to this particular disease in the trauma center of All India Institute of Medical Sciences. However, the family of Dr. Vikas Solanki has a very huge message to say when we spoke to them, and this is what the conversation was like. Dr. Vikas' family here, I am right now in Hisar, will try to know about his journey and what was the motivation behind him choosing medical sciences over other things. नमस्ते सर, आपका सबसे पहले वेलकम टू NDTV में बस ये सर सबको बहुत एक तरह से दुख है सर कि डॉक्टर विकास काफ़ी यंग थे सर, तो क्या आप उनके बारे में बताना चाहते हैं?
मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा सबसे पहले तो कि जो ये कोविड-19 फैला हुआ है इसको हमारे देश के लोग, समाज के लोग, सभी लोग हल्के में ना लें। बहुत मुश्किल हालात में वो लोग इलाज कर रहे हैं, तो हमें सबसे पहले तो ये है कि कोविड-19 से बचने के लिए अपने आप को मेंटली और फिजिकली तैयार करना है जी। और मेरा बेटा बड़ा होनहार था और उसने देश को, सोसाइटी को सर्व करने के लिए मेडिकल प्रोफेशन चुना था। एम्स के लिए तो मैं सैल्यूट करना चाहूँगा, एम्स प्रशासन के लिए, एम्स डायरेक्टर के लिए, एम्स बादशाह डायरेक्टर के लिए, और अंत में एम्स के जो डॉक्टर्स जिन्होंने मेरे बेटे को बचाने के लिए लास्ट तक वो लड़ते रहे, जी जान लगाई, उनको कभी मैं उनका हमेशा ऋणी रहूँगा। उनका मेरा बेटा बच नहीं पाया, लेकिन एम्स के जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है और वहाँ जो मेरे बेटे को इलाज मिला, वो मदद जब तक मैं इस दुनिया में रहूँगा भूलूँगा नहीं।
कुछ कहा करते थे आपसे इस लाइन के बारे में, कुछ मोटिवेट करते थे?
हमेशा मोटिवेट ही करते थे कि आगे क्लियर करो MBBS और मतलब बेस्ट आप रिसर्च करो। उसका रिसर्च में काफ़ी इंटरेस्ट था।
Well, that's the story of the 25-year-old doctor who completed his MBBS from AIIMS. He died on Monday morning after having battled COVID-19 for over a month. Our thoughts and prayers with Dr. Vikas Solanki.